March 26, 2021. Wall Street opened like any normal morning. Coffee was brewing. Traders were at their desks. But inside Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Credit Suisse, phones began ringing in panic because one man had just lost $36 billion in a single day. And nobody, not the banks, not the regulators, not even his own staff, saw it coming. This is the story of Bill Hwang, the greatest trader you've never heard of. Before we continue, if this is your first time here, welcome. This channel is dedicated to telling the most extraordinary true stories in business and finance. Stories of empires built, fortunes lost, and the lessons behind them. If that sounds like something you'd want every week, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. Now, let's get back to Bill Hwang. Bill Hwang was born in South Korea in 1964. He came to America as a teenager with almost nothing. He worked night shifts to support his family and pay for his education. On Wall Street, he learned under one of the greatest investors of all time. By 2020, his private fund, Archegos Capital, had quietly grown to over $36 billion. He was brilliant, he was disciplined, and he was completely unknown to the public. The banks, however, knew him very well because Bill Hwang was making them a lot of money. But Bill Hwang had a secret. He wasn't investing his own money in the traditional sense. He was using a financial instrument called a total return swap. In simple terms, the banks bought the stocks on his behalf. He controlled the position. But his name never appeared in any public filing. He was borrowing $5 for everyone he had, leveraged 5 to 1. And he was doing this with 6 different banks simultaneously, none of whom knew about the others. He had built the most dangerous and visible empire on Wall Street. Then, in 1 week, in March 2021, 2 of his largest positions began to fall. Viacom CBS, Discovery. The banks issued a margin call, demanding their money back immediately. Bill couldn't pay. And so the banks did something brutal and swift. They dumped his entire portfolio onto the open market. All at once, $30 billion in stocks, sold in hours. The prices collapsed. His empire, which had taken years to build, was erased in 72 hours. By the end of that Friday, Archegos Capital Management no longer existed. The shockwave didn't stop at Bill Hwang. Credit Suisse lost $5.5 billion. A loss so severe, it contributed to the bank's collapse 2 years later. Nomura lost nearly $3 billion. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, UBS, all took massive hits. And ordinary investors who held those same stocks, they watched their savings disappear without ever knowing why the prices were falling. In July 2024, a federal jury found Bill Hwang guilty on 10 counts, including fraud, racketeering, and market manipulation. This story isn't really about one man. It's about a system that rewarded secrecy and punished nothing until everything broke at once. Enron, Lehman Brothers, FTX, Archegos. Different names. The same pattern. Unchecked leverage, hidden risk, and the unshakable belief that the good times will never end. The most dangerous person in finance is not the one who takes risks. It's the one who takes risks that no one can see. If this story taught you something, share it, because the next Archegos is already out there. We just don't know its name yet. If you made it this far, you already know this story is bigger than one man. Every empire that fell the same way. And the next one is already being built right now. Next week, we're telling the story of the company that fooled the entire world for over a decade, and the one woman who tried to warn everyone. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe now and turn on the bell. And if this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear it. We'll see you next week.